You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday evening, everybody. This edition of the show is brought to you by Evolve Green, Case Financial Group, Toby Hockey, Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, Supplemental Insurance, and AETI. We got another packed lineup for you guys in tonight's episode like last Thursday. And in this first interview, not just one player, but two players actually from the Mountain Mustangs will be joining me. Number 9, Zone 4 high school hockey leading scorer, Tyler VanDeVelde, joining the show along with team captain of the Mountain Mustangs and Joël Vigier. Both of them are going to talk about their seasons this year, as well as reflecting a bit on the championship season that they had with the team back in 2019-2020. We'll also talk about this year's team and the upcoming games for the team as well. Coming up on this edition of Coffee with Graeme, first up with Tyler VanDeVelde and Joël Vigier here on ASTV Productions. Here they are, Tyler VanDeVelde and Joël Vigier joining this edition of Coffee with Graeme. Great to have you on here, boys. Excited to talk about not only your season so far this year, but many other things as well. How you boys doing on this Thursday night?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. How are you?
Doing good. It's, like I said, great to have you guys on. And what a season both of you guys are having. Tyler, you have 42 points and 11 games so far in the regular season. Then Joel, you have not too bad yourself, 27 and 11 games played. Just talk about how you guys have been able to get off to the type of start you guys have been able to so far this season.
It's been a not bad season so far. Team-wise, we'd like to have a record a little better, but production-wise, it's been going good.
Yeah, the goals are coming, the points are coming. It's just the W's aren't really where they thought they'd be, to be honest with you. But it's going to come. We're a good team. We'll be able to compete pretty soon here.
Yeah, and, you guys were in a bit of a rough patch, in 3 of the last 4 games, losing 3 in a row, losing to, the Morton Thunder 2-1, 7-6 loss to the PCI Trojans, and a 9-4 loss against Carmen. Just talk about, what exactly was going wrong for you guys in those 3 games for you guys to, drop some close ones and a big one as well against Carmen.
Against Morton, I thought we had a couple tough bounces, hit a few posts. We think that's a winnable game, but that night it didn't go our way. Portage was a tough OT loss against them. We thought we played really well. We got up to a 5-2 lead, but kind of shut it down and got too comfortable with it, and they ended up coming back and be able to win in overtime. Yeah. Against Carmen, it was close all the way up to the 3rd period, but then we just shut down, and they were able to capitalize on a bad play from us many times. So,
yeah, they've been rolling lately. We've had a good team so far.
Yeah, and you guys have been able to go up against good competition so far, obviously, and not getting exactly the results you want against a team like Morton, like a PCI, like a Carmen as well, but just some learning some lessons to learn for you guys, how to, better prepare yourselves next time and come out and execute. And boy, did you do that against the GVC Zodiacs, winning 18-1 most recently. Starting off with you, Tyler, your big game, just looking at the stats in that game against GVC, you had 7 goals, 4 assists for 11 points. Just talk about, how nice that felt after losing so many games in a row to put up that type of production in that game, 11 points.
Yeah, it was a good game to get back into it. Teammates were finding me in good spots, I guess.
Yeah, 11 points isn't too bad, eh?
Not too shabby at all. And, just as a team this season, like not only you were scoring in that game, but many others, because like 7 out of the 18, that's great. But, the rest of the team was picking up the slack as well. Just talk about your guys' depth so far this season. 13 different players have scored at least a goal. Just talk about how huge that's been for you guys' success so far.
Yeah, I think we got a pretty good team. We're pretty young, only 4 returning players from our championship team 2 years back. But we're a young team, and we got some really good players up and down the lineup. I think we got one of the best lineups in the league, up and down, forwards and D included. And we got 2 pretty good goalies in net too, so that really helps as well.
Yeah, and going into that championship experience that you guys have, not much of it, but definitely helps to have players with championship experience. How huge do you think that's going to be from just the few returning players you guys got with championship experience, what it's going to bring to the younger players on the team this season?
Well, we know what it's like to win, so we know how good it was. We want to do it again, obviously, and want to show the young players what it's like. Want to do the best we can, whatever we can to bring another championship back.
And, obviously the last time that you got to play on this team, Tyler, Joel played on the championship squad as well, but you got to play with some family members, Tyler. Both Luke and Spencer were on the team that year. Talk about how cool that was to win a championship with playing with your brothers.
Yeah, that was really fun. I've always looked up to them. I was always just the age group lower, so I couldn't play with them until high school. So it was really cool to finally play with them. Then ended up winning. It was really, really cool.
Obviously you two are motivated to win the championship again, right? Like any team is, especially with you guys coming in as defending champs. Talk about, what you guys have taken from that championship year that you guys had back in 2019, 2020, and are really going to try to, put it into place this season to truly help this team try to get to the top of that mountain again.
Yeah, for sure. Taking things from that championship run really helps us grow as a team this year, I find. We're trying to teach the younger guys what it takes to win and how to win this championship, because that's the main goal at the end of the year, right? We're just trying to grow culture, winning culture, and try to be, boys with everybody. Make sure everyone feels comfortable in the room, be able to go out every night and be able to play their best game.
And of course, you definitely have a lot of influence on the group, Joel, as you are the team captain this season. How does it feel to be wearing a letter on your jersey, wearing the C this year?
It's a big honor for me. We got a really good team this year, and I'm just really happy that they felt comfortable choosing me to be able to kind of lead our team in the right direction.
Now, I assume you guys play on the same line together. Talk about if you do play on the same line together, how, you guys are able to find each other on the ice, have so much chemistry out there.
We've been playing together for a while now, and we're good buddies off the ice, so we talk a lot, and we just know where each other are on the ice. It really helps us on the ice a lot.
We're really comfortable with each other, and we know how to find each other. We're always in good spots, and we know where we are always going to be, so we know how to find each other and take advantage of the opportunities we give each other.
Well, it obviously shows, because you two are top 2 on the team in points. Joel, you have 27 points in 11 games played, and then Tyler, you have a whopping 42 points in 11 games played. That sounds like something I'd be doing in my my favorite video game right now, NHL 20. Put up. Talk about just how you've been able to have this, type of production so far this season, in terms of just the things that you've been able to go out and do successfully to put up this amount of points.
Well, obviously it starts with the teammates, always finding you, working hard. And I like to go in the corners, but my teammates like more sometimes, so I let them do some more of it. I stay up in the slot.
Yeah, definitely doesn't hurt, you staying up in that slot area because you also lead the whole Zone 4 high school hockey league in goals with 20. But for you, Joel, with your stats this season, you got 11 goals, 16 assists, 27 points. Just talk about, how nice it's been for you to get off to such a quick start out there as well and also be consistent out there so far.
Yeah, it's great. Be able to put up points, but like Ty said, it comes back to the teammates. Being on a line together, we're really good at finding each other, and we know how to we're trying to put the puck back in the net as much as we can, right? That's what we're there to do, and we've been trying to execute that as well as we can.
Obviously this team can put up goals, 70 goals for second in the league, but the goals against you guys are 42 goals against. That ranks fifth most given up in the league. Talk about, because those are where the struggles have come from, just the high amount of goals that you guys have given up in losses. Talk about, what's been the biggest struggle in that end of things so far for you guys.
Yeah, it really seems in losses this year we've been giving up lots of goals, and yeah, really, it's up to us as a team to play better defensively. Our goalies have played well, I find. It's just we've been giving up a lot of great opportunities. We've given up 9 against Carmen twice now and 7 goals against Portage in that loss. Like, it's kind of hard to win games when we're giving up that many goals. As a team, I think we just got to be better in the defensive zone, and it'll come eventually.
Talking about you guys giving up the amount of shots you guys are giving up, do you think that just stems from, just some poor puck management, maybe the team getting on the pucks quicker than you guys? Where exactly does those, high shot amounts come from in games?
Yeah, we really need to work on that. Getting the puck out is a huge thing for us. We're kind of struggling with that lately. Our breakouts just haven't been what we wanted it to be. Our neutral zone give ups just coming back and getting those shots in, and we're just losing those games because of that.
Well, coming up for you guys are going to be playing the Morden Thunder at home this time tomorrow night. Just talk about, coming into Morden, a team where you guys have played them once so far this year, losing in a close one, 2-1. What's going to be the game plan and mindset coming into this one tomorrow night?
I think the game plan is going to stay the same as it usually is. Try to play a simple game, get pucks in deep, everything to the net type of thing. We feel like we're that as a beatable team, and hopefully we can get a win in the barn tomorrow night in Salt Lake here.
And then, of course, you guys won't be playing again until next Friday when you guys will be playing the NPC Nighthawks. Talk about what the routine is like when you guys have such a long time off from games. Going to be exactly a week tomorrow till that next game next week against NPC next Friday. Like what that mindset's going to be.
We've had a tight schedule lately, so we're just gonna get our 2 practices in. Hopefully, work on some stuff and get back to our groove. Get back in the win train.
Got to ask you guys this last question here. You guys got robbed of trying to come in and defend the title last year. You guys would have had more of the same players from that championship team on last year's team, but due to COVID, a lot of those guys aged out, and now you guys are some of the few players that are on this team that have championship experience. With COVID taking the season away, with you guys obviously disappointed not being able to get a chance to go back-to-back last season, getting a chance this year, how much of a motivation do you guys have with just wanting to do right and wanting to win that championship when you feel like it might have been stripped away the opportunity from you guys last season?
Well, obviously losing the season last year was really tough for us. We thought we had a really good team that was really going to be able to compete and be able to defend that championship, maybe even repeat. We thought we were really going to have a good team going to that season. This year, just trying to go in with the same mentality that we're still the reigning champs. We're still trying to defend our title and hopefully take it home again this year.
Well, you guys definitely got the offensive firepower to put up goals on any team in bunches in game. It just has to, come down to you guys cleaning up the defensive side of things, but those are just things that happen with time. Sometimes you guys, I feel like, could figure it out if you guys continue to put in the work, continue to do those good things right. Tyler VanDeVelde, leading scorer in the Zone 4 High School Hockey League, and team captain of the Mountain Mustangs, Joël Vigier, joining the show here tonight on Coffee with Graeme on this Thursday night edition. Best of luck to you guys in that game against Morton tomorrow, and best of luck in the rest of the season as well. I might talk to you guys in the future once again.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so you guys take care.
Yeah. See ya.
That was Tyler VanDeVelde and Joël Vigier joining the show here tonight on this Thursday evening. Did not see Joël Vigier as a guest coming on this interview. I guess I didn't get the memo that he'd be coming on. But yeah, it was great to have the team captain on the show, as well as Tyler VanDeVelde as well, the leading scorer, as mentioned many times before, in the Zone 4 High School Hockey League. And if you guys don't recognize me, hey, it is still Graeme Forsyth. As you might notice, I shaved the mustache, I shaved the beard when clean shaven. It's been too long since I've had this look, so hopefully you guys still recognize me as Graeme Forsyth, even without the facial hair that I've been rocking for a pretty long time now. But, we're going to dive into another interview here after the commercial break on Coffee with Graeme on this edition of the show. Savannah Doak will be joining the show up next. She's number 16, a rookie forward for the Assiniboine Community College Cougars hockey team there, female hockey team there, the only hockey team at that college. Coming up after the break, she's going to be talking about just her experience at ACC so far this year, as well as the upcoming weekend for the team and what the team has been like, and just the college lifestyle in general, what she's liked about it so far. So stay tuned here for more Coffee with Graeme here on ASTV Productions. I'll be back for more with Savannah after this commercial. Doak, number 16 of the Assiniboine Community College Cougars, rookie forward, joining the show now. Savannah, how are you doing on this Thursday? Thanks for coming on Coffee with Graeme tonight.
I'm good.
That's good. It's been a while since we've talked last time. Last time that we talked, you were playing for the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy Buffaloes, U18 female team. What's it like now to be a Cougar after all this time?
It's good. It's nice to have a little bit of change. Don't get me wrong. I miss Pilot-Mound a lot. It's good. It's a little less practices than Pilot-Mound, but then again, we are in school and we do have to focus on our studies, and that's what we are here for. But we also have Dryland, which is pretty good. The girls on our team this year are amazing, and we have a really great team, and everybody's just great to be around all the time.
Yeah, it's great that you're able to be in an environment where you're enjoying yourself for sure. Talk about that. I know the last time that we talked, I asked you about, how you thought Pilot-Mound would help prepare you to take that next step to getting suited to a college lifestyle, like with the school and the hockey. Talk about, how Pilot-Mound has truly benefited you now that you've actually experienced these things.
Pilot-Mound has definitely got me ready for living on my own, because obviously it's a little different, because there we had our meals, cooked for us, but we did have to do our own laundry, take care of our own room and stuff. It's just a little bit of taking care of a bigger space, my apartment, obviously, and making your own food kind of sucks. You kind of got to prep meals because you're busy going to school, going to practice, going here. It's a little bit of a challenge, but I don't think the score really reflected how we played. I think we just had an unlucky game with bounces and a little bit of nerves came out of us. But, even playing the Silver Tips, even though they're not in our league, and Balmoral, we still competed hard and we did good. And the same thing with the other teams. They competed very hard.
You guys got 2 matchups this weekend coming up against NDSU, which is North Dakota State University, playing against the Bison, going on the road for the first time this year. Well, not the first time this year, but the first time really anywhere significantly far than you guys have been before this season. Talk about, what it's going to be like getting to go on the road and bond with this team some even more.
I think us going a little bit of a farther away than just Winnipeg, a couple hours, I think it is going to kind of create, there's still some shy people on our team that I feel like could open up a little more to everyone else and get to know people. So I think it's going to be a really good experience on the bus, even the way down. Everyone's got a little bit of homework, but obviously there's a little bit of goofing off going to happen. And I think it's a great opportunity kind of to, like you said, get to know everybody. And even our hotel rooms, we're only allowed to have 2 people to a room because of COVID regulations. So I feel like, how we're going to be split up, I feel like you're really going to get to know the person that you share a room with. And it's going to make our team closer than we already are.
Yeah, great to hear. And great that you guys are going to be able to get that opportunity to do that. And wow. I screwed something up, folks. I muted the video by accident. So you guys could not hear that interview from Savannah Doak, unfortunately. What we're going to do is we'll be playing that interview later on in the show, coming up, and not after this commercial break, not after the next commercial break, but after the next one. So we'll play it for you guys again later on in the show. The sound will be on then. And yeah, coming up after the commercial break, it's going to be this week's edition of the Hawks Report with assistant captain Emily Foster of the Pembina Valley Hawks U18 female team. She's going to be joining the show to talk about the past weekend of games for the team against the Yellowhead Chiefs and the Westman Wildcats, as well as the upcoming tournament that her team has in Brampton, Ontario. You're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break.
Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance. Quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you, with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5-EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
And welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions, everybody. Once again, I want to apologize for that last interview that was being shown. I muted the sound by accident. I didn't even think. I usually just mute the volume on my computer, but I did it with the actual video, and that led to disaster. But you guys will be seeing that same interview, and you can actually hear it coming up later on in this edition of Coffee with Graeme. But we're now going to talk about some female hockey. You guys will be able to hear this guest coming on. It's Emily Foster for the Pembina Valley Hawks U18 AAA hockey team joining the show now. And Emily, nice to have you on this week's edition of the Hawks Report here on ASTV Productions on Coffee with Graeme. How's it going? How are things in Brampton, Ontario?
Things are pretty good here.
Sounds good. That's awesome. That's great to hear. How was the trip down?
It was good. Smooth flight.
Smooth.
This plane was delayed a little bit, but we got here in good time.
Yeah, great to hear. Great to hear that you guys got there safe and sound. We're going to talk about the tournament in Brampton coming up later on in this edition of the Hawks Report. But let's start off with the past weekend of games that the team had against the Yellowhead Chiefs and the Westman Wildcats. Talking about that one against the Chiefs first. You guys were in a hole early, down 5-2 after the first period. Ended up losing that game 7-6, so you guys made it close in the end. But talk about that first period. What happened for you guys to get down by so much in that game so early on?
Yeah, so I guess we didn't have a bad game at all. We just didn't tie up sticks in front of the net, which doesn't help us out, I guess. But we did, in the third, we did get a few quick goals, which got us pumped up, got the energy pumped up, which gave us the comeback for the 7-2 loss in the end.
Yeah, you guys ended up losing the game, 7-6 in the end, having 3 goals in that third period, gave up none in that period. So you'd say that the biggest struggle in that game was probably the team's just lack of tying up sticks in front, being tight in the D zone.
Yeah, I think so. The Yellowhead is a pretty strong team, so I think we did pretty well against them, and that might have been our only hardship that happened in the game there.
Well, you guys got a lot of shots in that game. 44-44 were the shots, so they were even. Abby Bordadui scoring another hat trick. Zenith Vanstone also having 2 goals. Just talk about how nice it was to see, Abby perform like she has been all season once again, but also seeing Zenith get on the scoreboard with 2 of her own.
Yeah, they both are very excellent players. They both earn those goals. They always try their hardest. They're just very strong players on our team and good assets to have.
For yourself, you're an assistant captain on this year's Pembina Valley Hawks squad. Talk about, how nice it is to be named an assistant here on the team this year.
Yeah, I was actually very honored. We have so many talented hockey players on our team, so many girls deserving of this. So I was, very honored to this name, I guess, or
to receive the honor of wearing a letter. That's great to hear. Especially this being your senior season, so huge congrats to you. But let's continue talking about the past weekend. You guys played Sunday as well, this past Sunday against the Westman Wildcats on the road. Lost 3-1 in that game. The game was tied at 1 apiece until that third period when Westman scored 2. But you guys got outshot pretty heavily in that game, 31-16. Talk about why it was so hard for you guys to generate as many shots as you did, or more than 18 shots in that game against Westman.
Yeah, I think Westman is also a pretty strong team, so they're very good defensively, and we didn't play bad. We had a hard fought battle against them, but we just fell short in the end.
Yeah, and the shots were actually 31-16 for Westman. But talking about, did the back-to-back have anything to do with it? You guys coming out a bit sluggish, or was it just the way Westman was playing you guys out there?
I think it might have just been the way that Westman was playing. They came out strong. We did as well, I guess, but just didn't end up in our favor in the end.
Kaylee Franz came in relief of Triens in that game against Yellowhead. Kaylee getting the start once again. Well, getting the start this time on Sunday against Westman. She made 28 saves on 31 on 31 shots against. Just talk about, how impressed you guys have been as a team with Kaylee's game this season.
Yeah, so both of our goalies are very exceptional goalies. They're very talented, and they save our butts in net all the time. They're just they're great players. Glad to have them on the team.
Yeah, for sure. And they've both shown signs of being very good goaltenders this year, and the stats have shown as well in games that they have been pretty solid for you guys. Talking about this week, you guys had a home workout on Monday, a practice on Tuesday with only one practice this week. What was the emphasis put on this week in practice?
So this week, I think we just focus on lots of passing drills, battle drills to help us get ready for the weekend. And we didn't have practice on Wednesday to help us give us time to do our homework and also prepare for the weekend and our flight out the next day.
Nice. So, talking about the day before on Monday, you guys had a home workout. Talk about what you guys were focused on then.
So we had our home workout 1 on Monday. It mainly focused on kind of legs and arms, help us build strength throughout the hockey season and all that good stuff.
Now, diving into the tournament here, you guys got in Brampton, Ontario, going to be there from tonight all the way until Sunday. You're playing in a tournament called the Two Nations College Prep Tournament. Talk about what exactly this tournament is and, where these teams are coming from to play in this tournament.
Yeah, so we play tomorrow morning at 9:45 as well as 3:45, I believe, tomorrow. And we play Saturday for sure, one game at 8:30. And I guess we're facing up against teams we've never played before. So I think our goal is just to try our best and also have fun while we're out here in Ontario.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? Having fun as a team. Seems like you guys are at your best when you guys get that energy hyped up. How hyped are the girls for this weekend to get some good bonding time in once again?
Yes, I think we are going to have lots of fun. We're going to do some team bonding stuff, which will help us on the ice in general, help us communicate better, help us become better teammates.
And, obviously for you guys, you want to have fun, you want to have success out there as well. But where do you feel like it's going to start from, you guys as players trying to get that success on the ice, like you said, going up against teams that you guys haven't faced before?
Yeah, I feel like you said before how when our energy's up, we play very well. Also, getting a good warm-up in is definitely going to be key, especially in those early games. It's just, combination of lots of things will help us get ready for those games.
For you this season, you've put up 2 points so far, both have been assists and 28 total games played. Just talk about, the type of player you are. I'm assuming by looking at the stats here, more of that defensive defenseman, just looking at it this year as well, pretty responsible in your own end.
Yeah, I feel like, considering my points, I'm more of a defensive player. I don't know, battling in the corners for the puck, getting the puck out of our own end, all that good stuff.
How have you felt as the season has gone along that you've progressed in the good things that you do in your game, like battling in front of your net, being strong in the corners, battling there?
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely improved a lot. Doing all these workouts, practices, all this will help me improve as a player as we go on through my hockey career.
So what's going to be the focus for you this week at the tournament for yourself with your game individually to, be able to continue to progress and continue to develop as a player here in this season going up against these different types of teams you guys haven't played before?
I think my goal is to kind of just try and play my best, always keep my head up, make some good passes. All those will help me keep moving forward.
And the team, how excited are you guys to play some new competition, competition that's going to, most likely put you guys to the test?
Yeah, we're definitely really excited. New teams is always fun because we don't know how they're going to play, what they're like. So I guess we'll see when we play against them what the game's going to be like.
And is it going to be a full lineup for this tournament? Are there any injuries for you guys coming in, or are you guys going to be fully healthy?
We don't have any injuries right now, which is great. So, and hoping no injuries occur while we're here. So that's always good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, great to hear that you guys once again got a full lineup. Best of luck to you and the team coming up, and this tournament starting tomorrow morning for you guys.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll talk soon once again here on the Hawks Report in the near future when we have you on again, Emily. Emily Foster, assistant captain for the Pembina Valley Hawks, joining this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Emily, you and the team, take care, stay safe, and have a good one this weekend.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Of course, you take care.
Bye.
And Emily Foster coming on this week's edition of the Hawks Report here on Coffee with Graeme on ASTV. Coming up after the next commercial break, I'm going to be joined by a very good hockey player for the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy Buffaloes U17 male prep program. It's Laz Constant, number 20 of male prep Buffaloes. He's a rookie on this year's Pilot-Mound team, so he's going to talk about what the experience has been like of his first year so far in Pilot-Mound, Manitoba, as well as, his season individually, as well as, bonding with this team, what it's been like playing with this team so far. We'll get into some of the team's results, most notably last weekend against the Indigenous Sports Academy Eagles. And then we'll also most likely talk about the upcoming weekend for the team against the Notre Dame Hounds, who are coming in to play Pilot-Mound for 3 days this weekend. You're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break.
All right, guys, make sure you watch that coverage out there.
Speaking of coverage, you guys got supplementary insurance?
Who is this guy?
No one can cover me. You can be covered for any accident, anytime, anywhere, Canada and the USA. Learn more at supplementalinsurance.ca.
Hi.
Oh, brutal. Maybe I should get some of that coverage.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions, everybody. Would once again but I want to apologize for earlier that interview that was being shown by, with Savannah Doak. For some reason, I decided to mute it. I thought I was just muting the volume on my computer, but I ended up muting the whole entire interview, and that's no good. There is sound. You guys did hear some sound. I just didn't unmute it. So that is coming up after this next interview that we're doing here. By the way, welcome back to this edition of the show. You guys just heard from Supplemental Insurance. If you need coverage, you're an athlete, be sure to contact Supplemental Insurance today on their website, as you guys saw in that commercial. But welcome back to the show, everybody. Laz Constant, number 20 of the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy U17 male prep Buffaloes, is joining the show now. Laz, joining me from Pilot-Mound, Manitoba. Not too sure if we're going to be able to get this interview done, though, however, as the connection in Pilot-Mound is not the greatest, as we found out here. But Laz, can you hear me, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. You just have a black screen right now. So
okay.
what am I what I'm going to get you to do is just rejoin the link that I sent you, and we'll get you back in here, bud.
Okay.
So I guess the connection is fine right now in Pilot-Mound, as I could hear Laz pretty clearly. But yeah, what's to come in this edition of Coffee with Graeme? Going to be, of course, showing you guys the interview with Savannah Doak again coming up after the next commercial break, after I'm done with Laz here on the show. And then after that, you're going to be seeing this week's edition of Seth's Inside Scoop, as Seth Rock is going to come on the show to preview the upcoming weekend of games we got here on the network between the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy U17 Mill Prep Buffaloes and Notre Dame Hounds Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday morning. And here to talk about that and more is one of their players once again joining the show, Laz Constant. Laz, I can see you now, buddy. I'm sure I'll be able to hear you in just a sec, but thanks for coming on the show, man. Great to have you on. How are you doing on this Thursday night, the night before the big game tomorrow night against Notre Dame?
Oh, great. Just got back from the gym there. Went to go do a couple of stretches and shoulders with the boys. Just got back for the interview. Had to cut it short tonight. So
right on.
Yeah.
Right on. It's great that you're putting in the work on the off days. Any chance you can here, Laz. Talk about that, what it's been like having the facilities at your disposal at Pilot-Mound to be able to put in the, off-ice work that you and the boys have been this year.
It's been great actually to have like a gym that I can go to, like access anytime I want, I guess. It's really good for me and a couple of the buddies there on my team to try and get some work in.
Yeah, for sure. And, getting ready, getting stronger, getting ready for this tough upcoming weekend against the Notre Dame Hounds. We'll get into that later on in the show. But talk about it, why you chose Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy as that next place that you want to continue your hockey development in.
Well, I heard a lot of great things about this place. I have a couple of buddies that came here before, like Ashton Paul, Brian Sinclair, Keelan Holland. Those are just a couple of the buddies I know that have came here before, and OCN Blizzard actually recommended it to me after camp there, so I took a look after that.
Nice. And talking about it, my color commentator Cody Wally's been doing some play-by-play too lately, but he interviewed you way back earlier in the season, and he talked to you about OCN. I'm going to ask you probably the same line of questioning about OCN here. I can't remember exactly what he asked you off the top of my head, but just how huge that opportunity was for you to get some action, get some playing time with OCN, camp.
It was really good. It was a good experience. It got my confidence up a lot. Just to see how fast it is and how much work I got put into get to the next level. It was a good experience, yeah.
So did you just participate in the camp, or did you play in any exhibition games?
I played the rookie game, and then, yeah, that's about it.
All right, on. Well, looks like you're using a lot of the good things you learned from them and using it in your game this season, 27 points in 25 games played. But going back to, just why you chose Pilot-Mound, of course, hearing some great things from them. But, what exactly was it like arriving to Pilot-Mound, Manitoba? The first day of classes, just everything you did on the first day when you first arrived there.
Well, I arrived on it was a Sunday, it was right after the girls game actually. I think it was against Eastman on a Sunday. I know a couple buddies from here, like from the PAR. I know Rockland Hay, Real Sharkchan, and I know Braden Bear from like a childhood friend. So they kind of like waited for me to get to the dorms, and they like introduced me to everyone, and it was good.
Right, that's right. I'm remembering now you were late to coming on this team, coming on their roster. Of course, you're one of the boys, of course. Everyone on this team seems to be, very close and at a very tight-knit group. Talk about, what's been like bonding with this team as fast as you have this season.
It's been, well, I guess we're all the same age, so we're all kind of going through the same things right now, and moving away from home, it's probably uncomfortable for a lot of people. But like I said, I moved away from home like a long time ago with the other interview. When I was 15, I moved to Toronto, so I kind of like helped the boys you know, when they're missing home, I go talk to them and stuff, and when they're missing their friends.
Yeah, that's great that you're able to be that person to, give them those words of wisdom, give them, a shoulder to lean on in a way, when things might be going tough. But, talking about it, what your favorite part of the academy has been so far? Obviously, you left to play hockey, but has it been more of the off ice stuff for you that's been your favorite part?
Yeah, actually, it's the training every day that I never really got anywhere else. It's a big game changer, I guess. It's been helping me a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Just talking about it, this routine must be a game changer for you. Just being on the ice consistently every single day, like going to class, of course, that's normal every single day. But also getting all this other stuff like working out, getting to use the gyms when you guys want to, being in dorms and stuff or wherever you're living with Pilot-Mound. Talk about, what the routine has been like, how you've been able to handle it so far of playing hockey and handling the other things as well.
Well, it's not as hard as when you have like really good friends here. You know what I mean? Like you have a big group of guys that you always hang out with, and we just like kind of help each other out. Get up in the morning, go to school till 2:20, go to practice, work out after, come back to the dorms, eat, grab something to eat real quick, and then it's usually like me, Braden Bear, Real Chartran, us three. We usually go to the rink around 8 o'clock and go work out with each other, and then we do free skate after that.
Right on. And obviously, a great staff that you guys have, head coach Rick McConnell, Ernie Sutherland, of course, Gordy Tummelson, always at work with the goaltenders, putting in the work with them. Talk about, what this coaching staff has been so far this year.
It's a good coaching staff. I really like it. I like Ernie and Rick. They're really good. They're really nice to me, and they told me a lot of good things that I need to work on with my game. They told me I'm like my bad stuff I need to work on is obviously quicker feet and my weight, but that's about it. But other than that, they're really good coaches, and I like them.
Yeah, great to hear, and get to know that they're giving you some pointers of what to do better, um, you know, in this season. So we're going to take another commercial break here. Then I'll be back with Laz to talk about his season, the points he's put up, some more, and just talking about the team and the upcoming weekend they have against the Notre Dame Hounds. I'll try to pronounce my words better, try not to have a stroke when we come back here on Coffee with Graeme with number 20 of the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy U17 Male Prep Buffaloes, Laz Constant, here on ASTV.
Welcome to Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, your world-class academic and hockey training facility created to maximize each student's athletic and academic potential. Blackjack Stewart Arena, home of the Buffalo, is inside the 46,000 square foot complex, as well as a curling rink and other facilities. The students have a unique combination of successful, well-rounded education at Pilot-Mound Collegiate Institute and the professional hockey training in an encouraging community. The years of experience of on-ice coaching propel our students to the next level, both mentally and physically, in a professional environment.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Joining me now is Laz Constant, number 20 of the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy Buffaloes. Look at that, Laz. We already got the overlays and logos set up, something that I should have taken off before the commercial break. Well, before the commercial break ended, yeah. But Laz, we talked about, your experience at Pilot-Mound here so far. We're going to talk about the stats now that you put up this season. 27 points and 25 total games played, 11 goals, 16 assists. Obviously you're an offensive talent. Can get it done in so many ways in the offensive zone. Just talk about you as an offensive player, what the strong parts are of your game and that end of things.
My strong games are probably I'm a really smart player. Like I know where to be and stuff, and I can use my body really good. I have a big frame, so I just adapt to using it a lot. So I'm really good with my edges, and I have some pretty quick hands and a nice shot. So that's my strengths, I guess.
Yeah, and we've definitely seen that strong shot this year in a lot of games. But one thing that I've really noticed is you use your body, your size to your advantage really well in protecting the pucks along the boards and in the corners. Talk about it. Is that something that you've always had a knack for doing, or is that something that's kind of developed in your game come along as the years have gone along?
Well, I'm the youngest like of the family, so my family is like a big hockey family, and I wasn't always the best. So I kind of learned how to use my own strengths, and I was always a little bit bigger than everyone else. So I just wasn't gonna be the fastest, so I said I have to be good at something. So I started using my body lots in the corners and just protecting the puck away from people. And I played with older guys like my whole life, so I never really played with my old age group. I always played with like guys that are 2 years older than me. So yeah.
So do you feel like that having that advantage of having a family that's older than you being the youngest in your family and always playing against older guys has really made the transition for you, as smooth as it can be this season, playing against older competition, but being used to that already?
Yeah, it's actually been a really good help. It assured me a lot as a player, like to know what to do and stuff, and not to be afraid to make mistakes. And yeah.
You talked about you're a smart player. You are a smart player. We've seen it out there, not just with the puck, but off the puck as well, knowing where to go. Talk about, as the years have went along, how that hockey IQ has developed to the point it is at now.
Well, I wasn't always the fastest player around, so I had to get the puck somehow. So I always had to be 2 steps ahead of people before they'd make their move, so I can predict it, right? So yeah.
Talk about your game in the defensive zone now, Laz. What I've noticed from you is, one big thing I've noticed is you don't like to rush things. You like to be patient with the puck and wait for things to open up. Just talk about, the rest of your defensive zone, what you feel could be a strength in your game defensively.
Yeah, my strength is I don't like to rush the puck, so back in OCN where I'm from, we have these things called like $5 skates where we play with like all the old rec guys that are really good, and I just really watch them. Like when they have the puck, they don't force nothing. They wait for things to open, because if you force stuff, it's not going to open, right? So if you give maybe about a few second delay and then something opens and it's a nice play, and you always think about it before you do it. Yeah.
For sure. Seems like just your time playing against older competition, really good competition, has really helped you, understand the game at a high level, and really helping out your team, not forcing things, not rushing things on the breakout, which has been great. Talk about last weekend against ISA, the Indigenous Sports Academy Eagles. You guys got 2 big wins. A big one on Friday, especially coming back in that game twice, tying it up with under a minute remaining and winning the shootout, winning 6-1 last Saturday. Just talk about how huge of a confidence booster that was for the team, especially after struggling quite a bit the weekend before.
It's a big confidence booster, right? Like it gets all the boys thinking like we just had a really good game on Friday, and then we caught up. It means we compete, and then next day I told the boys like we got to work a little bit harder if you want to be like one of the top teams in the league. We got to put these guys in the we got to pound these guys right now, and that's what we did. We went there first, second, we did this in the third period. We kind of I said, "Come on, boys, we got to go here," and we started rolling, and we started steamrolling them after that.
I feel like you guys have gotten a lot better as the season has continued to progress, even though the stats say otherwise in the CSSHL, as you guys are 2-10, 22 goals, 470 against. Definitely seen a lot of improvement in all areas of this team. Talk about, how impressed you've been with just how this team is starting to come together now and starting to build more chemistry and put a better product out on the ice.
I'm really proud of the boys. Like we came a long way, that's for sure. Like before, like when I first got here, we didn't I only had talked to 3 people, and after that we kind of we all started talking, I guess, and we started doing more stuff together, and our chemistry's got way better since then. And it's really good for the boys to get their chem up, and these games that we've been playing really good against. Yeah.
Yeah, and when it really started for you guys was the weekend before the CSSHL showcase that was played in Pilot-Mound earlier this month, I believe. Yes, earlier this month. But you're going up against a team that you guys faced in that showcase again 3 times this weekend. The Notre Dame Hounds. Last time you guys played, it was close, 3-1 win for them, but. What's the game plan going to be going in against one of the best teams throughout the whole U17 prep division?
These guys are definitely beatable. Like, I think we lost to them 2-1 the last time we played these guys. It was a lucky bounce they got there in the third period, but these guys are definitely beatable. And I feel like if we all play really good, we all play our game, play how we normally play. Just don't be scared to make mistakes, and we keep calm. We'll have a really good 3 games against these guys. So these guys, I think we can definitely beat them.
Yeah, it was, of course, 2-1 until they got an empty netter last game, last time you guys played. But definitely a close game for sure. Definitely winnable for you guys. But just from what you saw last time against them, knowing their game plan, knowing how they play already, even though you guys have only played them one time, is what you guys feel like you could take advantage of from that game last time going to influence how you guys are going to be playing in this game? Like, what are you guys focusing on the most against them?
It's definitely their defense. Their defense ain't the strongest, so if we get pucks deep and beat them wide, I'm pretty sure we can hem them in and start getting chances like that.
Well, one thing I feel like you guys struggled a bit with, and it was one of the only things out of the few things you guys struggled with in that, in that weekend, entirely last weekend, was just the start. You guys came out a bit flat-footed. Talk about how important the start will be this weekend and all of these games coming up against Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big game changer if we come out flat-footed. We come out flat-footed mostly like all our games, but we need to come out fast so we can get a jump on these guys, maybe being on in the first couple of shifts here, and hopefully just get these guys on their heels.
And what about special teams for you guys? Like in that last game, last Friday against the Indigenous Sports Academy Eagles, they were having good success and keeping you guys hemmed in your own zone on the power play. On Saturday, you guys cleaned that up and got a lot better success. How important do you guys feel like the special teams is going to be against a team like Notre Dame, especially when you guys get the man advantage?
Yeah, well, sorry about that. The last time we played Notre Dame, we got a lot of chances, but the thing about ISA is they jump on everything, right? Like they don't like when you struggle to puck a little bit, they'll jump on you right away. And Notre Dame's kind of like a laid back, more smaller box with their PK, so they kind of let you pass around more. And as you know, we like to do that thing where defense walks the line and they give it back to me. I take the shot, so that really works well against a team like Notre Dame. So hopefully that'll work lost this weekend.
Yeah, Laz and the boys definitely looking to put the stuff that they feel is going to work against Notre Dame this weekend coming up. But, you guys had some key players out of the lineup last weekend. Keegan Leach, Jack Smith, and Izzy Amy were out, and Kean Hodgins as well. What's going to be the lineup situation looking like for the 3 games this weekend at this point?
There's nothing set in stone right now yet, but it looks like it's going to be the same lineup as was last weekend. But as you know, we can definitely win with the lineup we have now. It's nothing new. We can win with the lineup we have now.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. You guys proved that last weekend, of course, and like you said, there has been nothing new this season. And you guys looking to continue to use that lineup to the best of your abilities against the Notre Dame Hounds this weekend coming up. Tomorrow night, the game starts at 7, and then Saturday, you guys play in the afternoon, and Sunday at 10 a.m. as well against the Hounds this weekend on ASTV in Pilot-Mound, Manitoba. Blackjack Stewart Arena, Laz Constant, number 20, leading point getter for the Buffaloes, joining the show here on the show tonight. Coffee with Graeme. Laz, thanks for taking the time, and best of luck to you and the boys this weekend coming up.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I'll see you.
Yeah, I'll see you this weekend, buddy. And Laz Constant, number 20 of the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy Buffaloes U17 program. And yeah, I feel a bit off my game tonight. I'm not going to lie. I have screwed up multiple things here tonight. I don't know if you guys can tell by my body language, not too happy about the way some things have been going tonight, but been great to have these guests here on the show here tonight so far. And Laz Constant, who joined the show most recently, Emily Foster, Tyler VanDeVelde, and Joël Vigier for the Mountain Mustangs. Of course, Emily Foster for the Pembina Valley Hawks on the Hawks Report, and of course, Laz for the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy Buffaloes U17 male prep team. But coming up after the break, going to be showing you guys an interview that was rolling, that was playing earlier on the show, but you guys couldn't hear because there is no sound, because this smart guy right here did not put the sound up. He muted the video. I muted the video. What a dumb mistake. What an idiot. Hey, what an idiot. But yeah, coming up after the commercial break, Savannah Doak, we'll try it once again. We're going to be showing her interview here. She's going to be talking about, the experience in college so far with ACC, which is Assiniboine Community College, her experience with the hockey team, the Cougars, that team that she's playing on, as she is a rookie forward this season for them, as well as the upcoming weekend that they have traveling to North Dakota State University to play the Bison on December 4th and December 5th, so on Saturday and Sunday. You're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break. Number 16 of the Assiniboine Community College Cougars, rookie forward, joining the show now. Savannah, how are you doing on this Thursday? Thanks for coming on Coffee with Graeme tonight.
I'm good.
That's good. That's good. It's been a while since we've talked last time. Last time that we talked, you were playing for the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy Buffaloes, U18 female team. What's it like now to be a Cougar after all this time?
It's good. It's nice to have a little bit of change. Don't get me wrong. I miss Pilot-Mound a lot. It's good. It's a little less practices than Pilot-Mound, but then again, we are in school and we do have to focus on our studies, and that's what we are here for. But we also have Dryland, which is pretty good. The girls on our team this year are amazing, and we have a really great team, and everybody's just great to be around all the time.
Yeah, it's great that you're able to be in an environment where you're enjoying yourself for sure. Talk about that. I know the last time that we talked, I asked you about, how you thought Pilot-Mound would help prepare you to take that next step to getting suited to a college lifestyle, like with the school and the hockey. Talk about, how Pilot-Mound has truly benefited you now that you've actually experienced these things.
Pilot-Mound has definitely got me ready for living on my own, because obviously it's a little different, because there we had our meals, cooked for us, but we did have to do our own laundry, take care of our own room and stuff. It's just a little bit of taking care of a bigger space, my apartment, obviously, and making your own food kind of sucks. You kind of got to prep meals because you're busy going to school, going to practice, going here. It's a little bit of a challenge, but Pilot-Mound did really prepare you for the life part of it. And like the same thing with school. Like I had good teachers all throughout Pilot-Mound. I feel like I'm doing very well in my studies, and I really enjoy school and like it a lot, especially since I'm focusing on something I really want to do instead of, high school. You have to take all these courses and stuff, but it really got you ready for school too, because you need to make sure you have to keep up with your grades in order to be playing, which is the same expectation that Pilot-Mound had.
Yeah, it's great that Pilot-Mound helped you get ready, get prepared to take those next steps. Talking about, the class you're in, business administration, seems like you're enjoying it so far, but you get to do it with some teammates as well. You're in the same class as them. How have you been enjoying that so far?
So there is quite a few of us, I think about 5 or 6 of us that are all taking business admin. But due to COVID, we were all put in different kind of cohorts. So I actually only have one teammate in my cohort. Jensen Shear, but I like it because we already kind of know each other outside of school. So getting to work together in school and helping each other, it's really beneficial and it's nice. Like, it's very nice, especially if something happened. Like, I had to miss class because I had to get stitches recently, and Jensen got me caught up on everything. And yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, great to have someone there that's going to have your back if something like that, you getting stitches happens, or maybe something else down the line. No matter what, you'll have a teammate there to, help you out, which is great. Talking about, what it's been like living in Brampton, talk about just the experience of experiencing that city.
It's definitely different because for the past 3 years I've been in Pilot-Mound with, I think the population's only like 600 people or something like that, maybe more. Very small, nothing to do but really focus on school and stuff. Here it's different. You have a lot more options to go and eat, go and see people, go and study different places. It's really a different environment to be around, and especially you're not living with all of your teammates, and you're not living, kind of like Pilot-Mound was like rinks in the range of where you live and the school, where it's here you have to drive 10 minutes max to go somewhere. It's different, and it teaches you kind of to have more time management skills because like you can't be late for things like you're in high school anymore.
Talk about the team more. You said that this is a great group of girls. Talk about how you guys have been able to bond so far, coming from different teams coming together to play on the same team, the Cougars, this season.
Yeah, like I said, the team's really great. Everybody's, I think puts in their effort to be on the team, which is always a really good thing. The girls, just everybody's really, really nice. I'd say, like, we haven't had any problems this year. We've been very good, and we all work together a lot. Like at practice, like if somebody's not having a good practice, somebody's always helping the other person up. A few of us knew each other before we came here just from previous teams, or, because we're all from Manitoba and we've all played each other in the past. So it is kind of like a neat experience that you're playing with people that you've been playing with against since you were in Bantam. Like, and you truly get to know the person other than just on the ice.
Yeah. And, you guys have only been able to play 4 games in total with each other so far, 2 exhibition, 2 regular season. Just talk about, with all the practices, the little amount of games you've had, how you feel the chemistry is coming along between the team on the ice.
So before we had any games at all, we were having really good practices. We were making really good plays, especially with the lines that were made up. Since then, we've had our first and second line kind of change around a little bit. But I think we have really good chemistry because, like, we've played good in all of our games. We haven't been playing bad at all. Like, practices wise, we've been working on face-offs. We've been working on power play and penalty kill, which, our power play breakout is a little bit of a weakness for us, I personally think. But, we've been practicing it this week, and it was really good what we've been going over. So hopefully for our games this weekend that we are going to be ready, and I think we will be.
Yeah, definitely some things you want to work on, but it's still early on in the season. You guys haven't played many games together. We'll talk about the upcoming matchups you guys got against North Dakota State University later on, but talking about your game, how you felt that you've been able to transition to that next level of playing college hockey.
It is a little bit different because you are playing in a little bit of a higher league, but I still play the same game. I still think the way. I still have the same hockey sense, speed, everything. I haven't really had to change much other than, plays and a little bit of how my hockey sense would be before compared to now, just from, different coaching styles compared to my coaches in the past, compared to my coaches now. But personally, in all of my games that I've played, my 4 games, I think I've played very well. And I think I still have a lot of room to progress and become an even better player. And, the coaches we have now, they're amazing. And I really think that they can help me progress in a better way.
Talk about the coaches you have now some more. Tony Bertone and his coaching staff. Just talk about, how he's been to his players so far, because seems like all of his players have so much respect for him.
Tony, he's a really good guy. You can go with him to about anything, and he's very understanding, and he's always, your school is first. He's always worried about your school. Which is a really good thing to have in him. And he's just so caring and respectful. And, on the ice, he's always a positive guy. He's never negative towards you. Even when you're not having a good practice and you can't get something right, he knows you can do it. So he really encourages you to do it. And he's not negative towards you, yelling at you or anything like that. He's just a really good guy and very understanding.
Yeah, Tony seems like he has the respect of all his players, which is great. And like you said, a great guy, very understanding, like you said, and always preaches school first, like you also said. But talk about, where you're playing in the lineup, also who you are playing with so far, who you've been playing with so far in these 4 games.
When we first started this, for our first 2 games, I played with Aiden. I can't think of her last name. Aiden Robert. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. And Cora Fiella. I think Cora and Aiden have a little more chemistry than I had with them together, which kind of sucked because they were good players to play with, of course. But now for these other past 2 games, I've been playing with Alicia Simpson and Cora Fiella, which I think has a little more chemistry together. Me and Alicia, I think, work really good together and understand each other. And Cora's just an all-around good player. She can play with anyone. She knows what she's doing. On the lineup, I've had a few penalty kills. I'm on one of the power play lines, and yeah, I wouldn't specify we have a first, second, and third line. We kind of all just roll through who starts each period. Whoever's on their game, having the best game, usually starts the lineup.
Nice. And, great to know that you guys are able to do that, roll all 3 lines, and there isn't really a first, second, and third line out there, right? But, getting to play in this, in the atmospheres that you played in so far, playing with the fans in the stands, playing in the Brandon Sportsplex, just talk about how cool that experience has been of, playing in front of the crowds you guys have so far and just playing on that type of ice that you guys have.
It's different because just from the past, last year, we only got to play a few games, so wasn't very many fans to watch you. It's different just compared to last year. I'd say any other year I played a midget, the fans were nice. Our last game that we played in Brampton here, actually, the Lady Jacks, sorry, not the Lumberjacks. They had a lot of fans in the crowd because they have a lot of Canadian players compared to us actually that day. And the parents were crazy and wild on the other team, which was kind of sad, but it is nice to play in front of a crowd. It feels like a hockey game.
Yeah, and I assume the compete level's pretty high out there. Talk about just the compete level that you guys have faced so far, playing against Balmoral Hall, the Silvertips, as well as the Lady Jacks as well most recently.
It is a pretty competitive game out there. You are in college and, there's a big national championship that one of our teams need to qualify for in our division. And, everybody wants it. The Lady Jacks want it. We want it. We've only played the Lady Jacks so far. That counts for our wins and losses. And, I think our team personally really wants to get there and really wants to win. So our team, I think, is very competitive and wants to compete and do well for ourselves. I think everyone's a hard worker. Everyone's chipping in. And, our practices have been going good. Everyone has been working super hard. And Even just the Lady Jacks, how they played against us, they were really wanted to compete against us too. They played a pretty hard game. We did have a loss our very first game, which was unfortunate because I don't think the score really reflected how we played. I think we just had an unlucky game with bounces and a little bit of nerves came out of us. But, even playing the Silver Tips, even though they're not in our league, and Balmoral, we still competed hard and we did good. And the same thing with the other teams. They competed very hard.
You guys got 2 matchups this weekend coming up against NDSU, which is North Dakota State University, playing against the Bison, going on the road for the first time this year. Well, not the first time this year, but the first time really anywhere significantly far than you guys have been before this season. Talk about, what it's going to be like getting to go on the road and bond with this team some even more.
I think us going a little bit of a farther away than just Winnipeg, a couple hours, I think it is going to kind of create, there's still some shy people on our team that I feel like could open up a little more to everyone else and get to know people. So I think it is going to be a really good experience on the bus, even the way down. Everyone's got a little bit of homework, but obviously there's a little bit of goofing off going to happen. And I think it's a great opportunity kind of to, like you said, get to know everybody. And even our hotel rooms, we're only allowed to have 2 people to a room because of COVID regulations. So I feel like, how we're going to be split up, I feel like you're really going to get to know the person that you share a room with. And it's going to make our team closer than we already are.
Yeah, great to hear. And great that you guys are going to be able to get that opportunity to do that this weekend coming up. Going up against this team for the first time this season, of course, it's the first 2 matchups of 4 you guys will play them in total in this 2021-2022 season. Talk about what the biggest mindset is going into this weekend, going into their home rink and North Dakota State University's home rink.
I think our biggest mindset is just to work hard and have fun. Like, obviously, we really want to win, and I think we have a pretty good chance of that. But, a hockey game can go any sort of way. But I think our mindset is just to work hard and give everything we have because we only got 2 games this weekend, and just to it'd be nice to beat them at their home ice. Be a cool experience. And
well, best of luck to you and the team this weekend coming up against the North Dakota State University Bison. Number 16 rookie forward for the Assiniboine Community College Cougars, Savannah Doak, joining the show here on Coffee with Graeme. Savannah, you take care and thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you. You too.
And that was Savannah Doak, number 16 of the Assiniboine Community College Cougars, rookie forward. There you go, folks. You were able to actually hear the interview this time around, not just see it and wonder why the sound was not there. Happy I didn't mute it this time. But we're going to take another commercial break here. Coming up after the commercial break, I'm going to be joined by Seth Rock on this week's edition of Seth's Inside Scoop, as he's going to preview and break down the teams involved in these upcoming matchups here on the network this weekend coming up. You're watching Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Stick around for more after this commercial break. It's this week's edition of Seth's Inside Scoop with Seth Rock. Seth, great to have you on the show here tonight. Of course, tomorrow we'll both be in Pilot-Mound, Manitoba to watch the Buffaloes and Hounds play. Those are the games you'll be breaking down, previewing tonight. I should say that, those two teams. But how are you doing on this Thursday night here to join another edition of Seth's Inside Scoop?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Just got the new setup here ready, so hopefully it's better. It's better than it has been over the past few weeks, and we're slowly going to be building. But yeah, you know, my week's been good so far, and I'm excited for this weekend.
Yeah, and speaking about that background, tell all the viewers what you exactly put in the background there. I see a goal horn and some other stuff too.
All right. Well, I'll kind of get out of the way here. I'll move to this side actually. So I got three jerseys up here: Josh Morrissey, Blake Wheeler, Thomas Chabot, and then I got my hockey helmet, a bobblehead, a Budweiser goal horn, which is awesome. Everyone should get one. And then I got a few game-used pucks up here from NHL games, a mini stick, and my hockey gloves.
Right on, and you are right. Everyone should have one of those Budweiser goal horns. Might have to put that one on my Christmas list this year, Seth. But, you know, love the background, man, and something I look forward, as well as I think all our viewers will look forward to seeing every week here on Thursday night. But let's get down to business here. Talk about the three games we're going to be covering this weekend in Pilot-Mound between the Buffaloes and the Hounds. These teams have played each other once this season, and it was a close game. 3-1 final for the Notre Dame Hounds. You know, looking back at that game, Seth, how Notre Dame is going to look to come in and try to get a win this time and try to use those things they did good against Pilot-Mound last time to their advantage this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they got a lot of speed. They got a lot of talented forwards up front, and they're definitely going to look to utilize that speed that they have and really try to hop on top of the Buffaloes early. We know the Buffaloes have been very good defensively lately, especially in those last few games that we covered from them. But yeah, you know, they're definitely going to want to look to see how they succeeded the last time they played the Buffaloes and really, you know, drag it and bring it to this weekend, because they got three really intense matchups coming up.
And we'll actually be talking about the away team first to start off this segment, rather than talking about Pilot-Mound. We'll get into the Buffaloes later, but talking about the Notre Dame Hounds, you know, coming in as the second best team in the U17 prep division, 14-1 on the season, one of those wins being a shootout win, and they could very well be first when it's all said and done after this weekend in the CSSHL, depending on how it goes against the Buffaloes this weekend. Talk about, you know, this team's offense first off. Lots of depth that has also contributed to 87 goals for them so far this year.
Yeah, man, the depth has been very important for this team. You know, good depth equals a good chance to win, and you know, they've only lost one game this year, so they definitely have gotten a lot of wins, and you know, their big part of that is the depth, and you know, they got, whether it's their first line or their fourth line or whatever it is, it's this whole team can put up points whenever they need to. You know, it's not just the main goal scorers you need to watch out for. It's the whole team. It's the team as a whole, and man, this team really has a lot of depth, and it's going to be scary for the Buffaloes to try to really contain all these high-scoring forwards and defenders out from keeping pucks out of the back of their net.
And 18 different goal scorers on the team this season, but the leading goal scorer on the team, Aaron Shanks, leads the team with 13. I'm pretty sure we talked about him last time we talked about Notre Dame here on Seth's Inside Scoop, but what has impressed you the most about just how consistent Aaron has been this season with just putting up that amount of goals?
Yeah, you know, it's got to be the amount of goals he's scored in the games he's played. He's only, you know, 15 games played and he already has 13 goals. Is pretty impressive. So this guy's definitely going to be looking to add to the score sheet, and man, Kenny, because he has an excellent shot and just a really well overall offensive game. He can do pretty much anything in the offensive zone if you give him time and space. So that's one thing the Buffaloes are really going to need to look for in this game coming up, is really trying to limit Aaron Banks here and really try to just keep him off the score sheet, because he's definitely going to be leading the offense.
Yeah, and him being the team's leading goal scorer, but it's not just him who can put that puck in the net. It's the other forwards on this team, as well as their defensemen. They've shown an offensive side to their game this year. Just talk about this defense and this defensive core, how they've been able to put up offense so far this year.
Yeah, they've been excellent as well. We talk about how good their forwards are, but the defense has debatably been just as good, or maybe even more important, because the defender's job is to help the goaltender keep pucks out of the net, really defend well in their own zone. But if they can put up points and really add to their overall game by doing that, putting up a lot of points, it's only going to help the team. And this defense core can really do that, because they got some guys that can chip in offensively as well.
And like I said, we've talked about this Notre Dame team before. I remember talking about Aaron Shanks, as well as this player that I'm going to mention right now, Aiden Murray on the back end. 5 goals, leads the team with 13 assists. A player that likes to try to get it done in all phases of the game, defensive zone, offensive zone, transitioning the puck as well. How excited are you to get a chance to watch Aiden Murray this weekend, in all 3 games?
Oh yeah, very. As a hockey player, as I've gotten older, when you're younger, you don't really pay attention to the defensive side of the game as much. But once you get older, you start to notice those things. And honestly, when I'm watching hockey now, I gotta say defenders are my favorite players to watch now. And this guy Aiden Murray can really, really help the team offensively. He's done a lot of excellent things this year, especially with the 13 assists. Like, that just shows how good he is at dishing the puck out and really finding his guys, finding open players, and really just leading the offensive and being that quarterback, as we like to say, on the power play often, with a defender being able to hold the line well.
Yeah, and he definitely showed that the one time, the 2 times that we saw him here on the network, once against Pilot-Mound, once against International Hockey Academy in that CSSHL showcase that we did a while back here on the network now. But talking about this team defensively, only 40 goals against, a lot of success against teams and shutting them down. But talk about just the rest of their decor, not the guy just like Aiden Murray, but the rest of this decor collectively.
Yeah. A lot can be said about Murray, but it's the parts around him that really help too. It's these guys that are in their own zone, making sure they're blocking shots, intercepting pucks, really just trying to help out the goalie as much as they can. This defense is really good. They've been able to limit a lot of scoring opportunities against other teams around the league, and they've done really well at just defending all teams this league, being able to shut them down, really just giving them no space, no time to make the kind of plays that they want to make. And it's been excellent. And their defense has been really, really good.
And this is also a defensive unit, like as a whole, that likes to be active in the play, likes to jump up with the forwards and attack as a whole unit going into the zone. How important do you feel like that's going to be against a team like the Buffaloes this weekend?
Oh, I think it's going to be very important. The Buffaloes are a team that defends well, and if you can have that extra guy help you up on the rush, have a 4th guy in, it's only going to help, and it's going to create more confusion and kind of just really suffocate the Buffaloes in their own zone. And if they can execute that well, I think they're good. They have a good chance to get a lot of success against this Buffaloes team.
Talk about the goaltending, that side of things from Notre Dame, what you'll be expecting from, their goaltenders, whichever ones play this weekend coming up.
Yeah, both these goaltenders are having pretty excellent seasons. They've both been getting even starts. Most have been splitting the action back and forth, and they've both been very well. A .925 save percentage and a .916 save percentage is nothing to shy away from. Both these goaltenders have played excellent, and it's going to be really interesting to see what these two have up their sleeve. Not only the good offense and defense, but to see what these goaltenders can do as well.
Now, moving into the special teams, Seth, what you'll be expecting from this power play, first off, before we get into the penalty kill, but this power play from Notre Dame, what you'll be expecting from them going up against this Buffalo's penalty kill.
Yeah, they got a really good power play, and it's gonna definitely be one thing the Buffaloes are gonna be looking to do this weekend is to stay out of the penalty box, because if you take too many penalties, this team is definitely gonna burn you, because they got multiple lines on the power play that can really put the puck in the back of the net, and it's gonna be tough because we talked about the depth, and the depth is really shines through on their power play. You know, when they have that extra guy on the ice, or I guess not extra guy on the ice, it's the other team that has the guy off. But yeah, if you're going to be killing a penalty against this team, you really got to be careful, because these guys can make you pay because of the depth they have up front.
The penalty kill for the Indigenous Sports Academy Eagles was huge against the Buffaloes last weekend, more notably in that Friday night game that we saw for the Buffaloes. But for Notre Dame, do you feel like the game plan should be the same for them on the penalty kill, being aggressive, just not giving Pilot-Mound much room to break out of their own end by being aggressive, having active sticks?
Yeah, definitely. And I think their penalty kill has a real good chance to succeed here. You know, we talked about the speed that this team has. We talked about how aggressive they can be, and how well they can defend. And if all that stuff adds up to this weekend, I think they got a good chance to be successful. And we saw with the Indigenous Hockey Academy that they were able to, when they were playing aggressive on the penalty kill, and they were really skating hard and really working as hard as they can on the penalty kill, they were very successful. And I think, you know, this Notre Dame team, they're one of the best teams in the league, and if they can use their speed like we know they can, they definitely got a good chance to succeed on the penalty kill.
Talk about the keys to the game just throughout the whole weekend. Just narrow it down to three keys to the game to Notre Dame having success against the Buffaloes here in Pilot-Mound.
Yeah, obviously for me, the first key is don't take them lightly. You know, you're above them in the standings by a little bit there, but this they definitely can't. You know, just because you're better, or how much better you are on paper does not mean you're gonna go in and get the victory right away. So I think, you know, just go in those games and take it like you're taking the other best team. You're taking on the best team in the league. Like, you got to be full systems go. And then I think another key for them is going to be playing aggressive. We know how aggressive the Buffaloes play, and it's going to be hard. If you're getting smacked around the whole game, it's going to be pretty hard to get your offense in. But you know, I think if they equal the intensity and the aggression, I think they have a good chance at really matching the Buffaloes' aggression too.
Yeah, and the Buffaloes really a team that's better when they are aggressive. If Notre Dame can, and they've shown it this season, when they do counterpunch and be aggressive, fight back, it could be a long day or a long weekend for the Buffaloes, but going to be very exciting, and also going to be very exciting to see these players on Notre Dame play. But who would you say is going to be that one player you're keeping your close eye on this weekend?
Yeah, I got to go with the guy that we mentioned earlier. I'm going to say Aaron Shanks. You know, it's really impressive to me that he's been able to score at the rate he has been, and I'm just really excited to see what this guy has in store for the 3 games we're going to be watching this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. Aaron Shanks, the team's leading point getter and scorer on the team this season, looking to keep it up here this weekend in Pilot-Mound, Manitoba at Blackjack Stewart Arena. And speaking of Pilot-Mound, that's who we're going to be talking about next, the Buffaloes U17 male prep preview and just breakdown of their lineup from Seth Rock coming up here after this commercial break. You're watching Seth's Inside Scoop here with Seth Rock on Coffee with Graeme. We'll be back for more after this commercial break. Welcome back to Seth's Inside Scoop here on Coffee with Graeme with Seth Rock. Seth started off this edition of his segment by breaking down and previewing the Notre Dame Hounds. Now we're going to have Seth break down and preview the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy U17 male prep Buffaloes. Of course, coming off of a strong weekend, Seth. Last weekend, going up against the Indigenous Sports Academy Eagles, winning 4-3 in a shootout last Friday night and 6-1 on Saturday. But a storyline for the Buffaloes in that first game of the weekend was their resiliency, fighting back after being down 2-0, coming back, tying the game at 2, and then being down 3-2 and tying it up with less than a minute to go, winning that game ultimately in a shootout. Also down 1-0 in that game on Saturday, and scoring 6 unanswered. Talk about how huge that resiliency is going to be from this Buffaloes group against the Hounds this weekend.
I think it played well last weekend. I think if it's really going to shine through, I think it's going to be major because, we know how good this other team is, this Notre Dame team is. And I think there needs to be a lot of resiliency from the Buffaloes to be able to knock off this team. I think they have to have all guys at 110% in order to come out successfully really come out successfully at the end of this weekend.
And one thing that the Buffaloes didn't fare too well at was starting that game on Friday strong. They came out a bit flat-footed. Is that something you feel like can happen in any of the games this weekend, especially with just how high-powered of a offensive team Notre Dame is?
Yeah, that if they gotta come out as fast as they can. They have to come out 110% and try to maintain that throughout the whole game. I know that's a very tough thing to do, but man, this Notre Dame team is really going to punish you if you are not at your A game. So I think these guys really need to come out and play, just really focus on starting the game well and then go from there.
And last weekend, Seth, in both the games that the Buffaloes played, they were missing key players on both sides, on offense and on defense. Forwards, defensemen, Keegan Leach was out. Jack Smith and Izzy Amy as well. Smith and Amy being 2 forwards, Leach being a defenseman. Talk about, how huge it's going to be for players to step up again in their lineup this weekend if those players aren't good to go once again.
Oh yeah, they were really successful last weekend without them. That's just a testament to their depth, guys that have been able to step up, and it's been really, really good to watch. And one guy that I thought stepped up very well in those games was a guy like Dmitry Petrenko. He was able to get his first goal on the year on the weekend there against Indigenous Hockey Academy. And I think if they got more guys that can just step up and fill in and really have their depth to come and play very strong, I think they got a good opportunity to really, maybe not necessarily come out the weekend with all 3 wins or whatever, but really, show the Notre Dame Hounds and the rest of the league that they are one team that's not going to be easy to play throughout the rest of the season.
Well, you talk about a guy like Dmitry Petrenko, but one guy that's been solid all season long and is only getting better is Laz Constant, coming off a very strong weekend, had a goal, had many assists as well. Talk about, Laz Constant looking to continue his strong play and be a huge part of this Buffaloes offense once again this weekend against a very good Hounds team.
Yeah, I had mentioned Dmitry Petrenko, but another player on my mind definitely was Laz Constant. Man, he has shown so much improvement throughout the year. It's almost insane. He's one of the better players in the league. After watching him for a while now, he's just been so impressive, and his overall game as a whole has been getting a lot better. He just seems a lot more aware. His awareness has been at an all-time high, and he's really riding the wave right now. I can tell he's having fun out there, and I can tell other players are not liking to play against him because he likes to get under the skin of the other team, and that's good for his team because they can draw some penalties from it. So he's been excellent lately.
Yeah, a guy who, takes the game seriously out there, but also likes to have a lot of fun as well, as we've seen many times here on ASTV this season so far. But their forecheck has been really strong, this team, when they're in their team zone. Talk about, how crucial that strong forecheck is going to be once again this weekend.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be really, really crucial because we talked about the speed on this team. We talked about the skill, and that Indigenous Hockey Academy Eagles, they had so much skill and so much speed as well, and Buffaloes were able to take advantage and really, especially in that second game, really towards the second and third period, their forecheck was just unbelievable. At times it was just almost overwhelming for the Eagles. And I think in order to find success this weekend, that's the main thing they really gotta use in this these 3 games coming up. Is their forecheck is going to be so important, and their number one key to their success.
Yeah, we'll get into keys to the game for the Buffaloes more later on in this segment. Seth, giving you guys a little sneak peek there. Yeah, but felt like that one was coming for sure. Talking about the team on the zone entries, got a lot better as that weekend went along. They were entering more as a unit as that game went along on Friday night. But talk about how important their zone entries are going to be for them to establish that offensive zone and try to go to work and possess the puck and other things.
Yeah, it's going to be so important. A lot of these things that they succeeded in this last weekend need to be, I think, magnified almost in this game coming up, like you said, and their zone entries is definitely one of them. We saw in the first period in their first game last weekend that they kind of struggled a little bit to get to maintain possession after they were able to get pucks deep into the offensive zone. And really, that's going to be the number one thing, is making sure your zone entries are clean, and really also making sure that you are able to maintain pressure in the offensive zone and really get some shots on net, consecutive shots too, because if they are unable to hold the pucks in and their zone entries aren't as clean as they would like them to be, I think this Notre Dame team has a pretty good chance at hopping up on them early.
Let's go into the D zone now for the Buffaloes. Something that's looked fairly strong for them this season. They didn't allow many shots in that 6-1 win last Saturday against the Eagles. Going to be important again. I feel like, in your opinion, it's going to be this D zone coverage for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, that is also one of the main things they got to really look for in this game. We've said this Hounds team has quite some really high-powered offensive guns, and the main thing is gonna stay clean. You got to stay clean in your defensive zone. Don't try to do anything too fancy with the puck when you're in your own zone, and really just try to really force the play and make sure the Hounds really can't do too much, because if they get you hemmed in and they start moving the puck, well, it's going to be hard to get that puck back, and definitely they got a good chance to score whenever they get you hemmed in because of all their skills. So it's really their defense has to be on point in this game.
The Buffaloes' support on the puck last weekend in the D zone was really good. Seemed like they always had a player there for support to, scoop out that loose puck and for them to start their breakout. Talk about how huge that's going to be in terms of them winning their puck battles and, being support sound in these 3 games against Notre Dame coming up.
Yeah. That was a really big thing that we saw. They were able to, have 2 guys being able to retrieve 2 guys go into the corners and being able to retrieve pucks. And I think that's obviously they gotta have that, 110, that's gotta be 110% this weekend as well, because if it's not, they like, it's hard to really say what they like. This their whole unit needs to be 110% this weekend, I feel, because this is really going to be, I think this is going to be a make or break for them. I think they really got to be able to just match the Notre Dame Hounds and really be able to just prove to the Hounds that they are one of the better teams in this league.
Yeah, for sure. And, those little details I feel like going to be huge as well. But, the power play for the Buffaloes got better as the weekend went along. Last weekend, they struggled to enter the zone for most of that Friday night game against the Eagles last week. Talk about, how this team is going to have to find ways to generate more on the power play throughout the whole weekend this time around against the Hounds.
Yeah, towards the that second game, their power play actually started to get really good, and they were really making things hard for the Eagles. And I think, because their zone entries, like we had talked about before, started to clean themselves up, and they were able to, if they were to dump the puck in the zone, they were being able to get to the puck first and really being aggressive. And I think that's the main thing. Once that puck goes deep on the power play, you got to make sure you get to it first, or you're hard on the guy who does get to it first, because the power play is going to be one of their best opportunities to put up points. It's every team's best opportunity to put up points. And I think for the Buffaloes, this is going to be really, really important for them to really fine-tune their power play and make sure that's strong the whole way through, rather than just in the last game or in the second game. Make sure it's strong throughout all 3 games.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, it got really good in that second period and on in that second game as it went along against the Eagles. But, the penalty kill, something the Buffaloes weren't on as much against the Eagles, especially in that Saturday game. Notre Dame, like any other team, going to get their chances. What's going to be the key for the Buffaloes on their penalty kill if they do end up on the kill?
Yeah, I think the key for them is going to be on the penalty kill is going to be oh man, I'm already going into my keys to the game again without even thinking. But I think the main thing for them on the penalty kill is make sure you're able to take up as much space as possible without leaving holes for players to shoot through or for players to skate through, because it's going to be tough. The puck's going to be moving fast. We know this Notre Dame team can really move the puck well on the power play, and they can shoot well on the power play too. So everything's got to be 110%. That's been the kind of motif throughout this whole thing for the Buffalo. This whole segment for this whole Sets Inside Scoop segment is 110% effort from the Buffaloes. And I think, on the penalty kill, again, it's got to be 110%, and they got to really be able to force the play and just try to play aggressive without giving too much room to other players, because if the Notre Dame players get a chance in front of the net and there's no one there, it's gonna more oftentimes they're gonna score. So really just being defensively sound on the penalty kill is the main thing for them.
Yeah, and the goaltending has been really solid for all Buffalo's programs this year, and especially the U17s. It's been a strong suit for them. Talk about how huge the performances of a guy like Miles Gordon is going to be, and if he is back in the lineup, Kean Hodgins, if he sees some playing time.
Yeah, and the goaltending's been great for the Buffaloes, like you said, and last week really kind of showed Miles Gordon showed how well he can play, and how well his endurance is too, being able to play 2 games in a row and being able to get both wins and playing very good in both those games. And I think that's been the thing for the Buffaloes this whole year. Their goaltending's been excellent. I wouldn't say they are where they would like to be in the standings, but I think one thing that has really helped their success in the areas where they have seen success this year has been their goaltending. And guys like Miles Gordon, Cameron Perrier, and Kean Hodgins have been the guys they've really looked to really help them. And that's it. Those are the goaltenders, and you always look to the goaltenders to really, establish an identity. And I think that's what's going to happen this weekend. Their goaltending, once again, needs to be at 110% in order to be successful this weekend.
So with so much 110% talk, I feel like I know what's coming in the upcoming keys to the game, which we'll do right now. Some keys to the game. I guess we'll go with 3 and narrow it down to that for the Buffaloes to have success this weekend against the Hounds.
Their forecheck needs to be at 100%. 2, their penalty kill needs to be at 100%. And 3, their power play needs to be at 100%. Those are the Buffaloes' 3 keys to the game. Boom.
Boom. There you go. Short and sweet. Keeping it simple is Seth Rock on his segment here. Seth's Inside Scoop. We're going to finish off this edition of your segment, Seth, with a player to watch from the Buffaloes, a player that you think could be a difference maker in this game for the Buffaloes in these 3 games throughout the weekend.
We mentioned this guy a whole heck of a lot when we cover these games, but due to his recent play, I think I got to give it to him because of how much success he's been